Hi, this is Mark Fisher from SwimDesk. Thanks for joining me.
I wanted to take you through the new SwimDesk module, which we've been working on hard over the last few months. We're looking to roll this out to all existing centres and changing from the previous SwimDesk module. So what I want to take you through today is all the different features and the new look and feel of the different module. The great thing about moving across from the old module to the new module is that all the data stays intact, so everything will flow across. So let's start with, this is the home page or the class list page. So it firstly opens up on this, which is generally the most used page, so it's very helpful that it opens up to this. So what you can see here is the upcoming classes for the day. And we can scroll down to all the different classes that are happening today. From here, we can either click this just to do a quick attendance check, if that's all we want to do for the day, or alternatively, we can go to the class. And when I open this up, it'll come up with a little bit more details of the class that are happening. So firstly, we can click attendance, say yes, Claire is here, Luana is not here, everyone else is present, so I'm going to go ahead and mark all remaining as present. That's a handy feature just to speed through that. We're then going to have a look, so these are obviously all the students here with their age in brackets, and these are the different skills to be assessed for their particular level. This class is a tadpole class with Nathaniel Morris as the coach. So what we can do from here is, if we're assessing Claire, for example, we just go down the list. So splash and shower of the face, head and body, is it introduced, basic skill, intermediate skill, or life skill, meaning successfully passed it. Now, the different skills have different colours as well. So you see if it's just introduced, it'll be red, basic or intermediate will be yellow, and life skill will be green. So we can complete all of these skills for each individual person. I won't go down to each one, but then down towards the bottom, we can decide, okay, so for Claire, she's perhaps getting closer to completing this level, but we need to see if we can book an assessment for her. So today's the 31st of January. I actually want to book an assessment for her for a week. So we click book on that, and then we'll get a reminder in the system, so for the 7th of February, that we're supposed to give Claire an assessment for that. But for today, Claire is non-progressed, so I'll click that button, and it comes up, would we like to send an assessment email to the parent? If we choose to send that email, that can be automatically generated and sent to the parent. If we come down here, we can add notes. So we might want to say Claire is very close to completing this level. We save that note, and then that note sits down the bottom of the class. We can also send an individual note to a parent of Claire, doing it that way. Alternatively, if we come up here, we can actually send a note to all parents. Click this button. We can also send an email, which is here. So we've obviously ticked non-progressed for Claire, so do we want to send that email to all, or we just click send? Obviously, having done the assessments of all the different kids, they would all come up in here. We can print this off, and we can save this. So that's how we go through the class list and the assessment list and the notes experience down the bottom. If I open this back up again, I'll take you through to the next. I'll just go back to the class list here as the home page. And then we can have a look at the dashboard. Now, the dashboard is not fully completed yet, but what you'll have on the dashboard is live data of your particular centre, and you can change the date up here, of certain KPIs which are important to the individual centres. So at the moment in this demo model, we just have new students, current students, how many students that are current need an assessment, and how many are not progressed. So they're obviously really important KPIs. And then we have new students counts by month. So you can imagine over a period of time, you'll be able to see a very good chart of this and see where you might have peaks and troughs of new students coming in. We're still tweaking this dashboard, and we'll be looking to improve the kind of look and feel of those KPIs. But you'll have a lot of useful pieces within there. The assess button pretty much just takes us back to where we were before with the class list, but we can come up here and we can go to whichever class we want. So if we wanted to look at Brendan Gray's class in the future, that will then come up with the students in that class. We can go directly to that. The upload data tab is very simple. So this is just in terms of uploading the data for the students as they come in, and obviously helpful if you're looking to do a bulk upload of students, say at the start of the term or at some other point in time. The engagement menu item has a few different things. So from a communication perspective, this is where you go to organise to send emails and also SMSs, which is not shown in this version, but it will be in here as well. So very simply, we can, this is all the students here, so we can send an email to all students if we like, or we could say, look at a different instructor. So let's look at just Hannah Brailsford as the instructor. We know there's 40 students of Hannah, and we can just click all, and we can look to send an email. So it could be that there's a teacher's absence that we want to send the email, and then this is the email that will be sent to the teacher, which can be pre-set up within your system. And it can be set up with headers and footers and artwork as you see fit. We can also send it as a notification, which will show up as a notification message in the parent portal and in the app that we'll be rolling out. So that's the email communication. In terms of engagement, we also look at assessments due. So just simply which students have overdue assessments. And as you recall earlier, I booked in a student for assessment, didn't hit save, which is why it's not on here. But this will show overdue assessments and upcoming assessments. So really important to make sure we know from a retention perspective, making sure we're assessing the students regularly is really important to keep them there. Similarly, we also have a new students area. So this is just something useful to click on and make sure you understand who the new students are to the centre, and make sure you're reaching out to them and following up to make sure they have a good experience when they begin in the system. Now that took a very long time because of the demo module, and there is something like 2,000 new students in here. So that took a little longer than you would normally expect that to. Moving on down to the task list. So this is really useful for understanding exactly what is required in upcoming days and what are overdue actions. So if you recall from the previous version, we had the actions section. That is all still in here, but it's just under this task list button. So it's a lot clearer what is actually required to happen. The actions are still set up and settings, edit action, as you can see here. So there's a number of actions already set up. So there's a happy birthday message. We've got this set up to be an auto email, so that will automatically go out on a student's birthday. We have a non-progressed email, which is already set up. It is an email, so it's not automated. It will be something that the teacher needs to send, but it will come up in that task list, so we see that. and then ongoing. So at any point in time, we can actually add a new action similar to the way it was done previously, but obviously very simply in the way that that's done. So we can create what we want to create in there. Having a look at reports, we've trimmed this right back to really the reports that the different centres are using. So non-progression report of students who have perhaps been in the one level for too long, so that time period can be set based on what you believe it should be. Assessments needed, so which students need to be assessed. Attendance, having a look at what the attendance is for each individual students. Graduated but not moved, so this might be a student that has passed everything they need to in a particular level and is ready to move on, but for whatever reason hasn't changed the class yet. And then email analytics, which is having a look at the emails that you send out, how many of those bounce back, how many of those get opened, what any issues or concerns that are there for your emails that you're sending. Lastly, into settings, and this is where we can change the staff list, so the users that are using the SwimDesk system. We can change the level and what the assessment skills are for each individual level that are there. Edit action I've already spoken about. Certificates is where we can upload certificates for each individual program so that when a student passes that particular program, a certificate can automatically be emailed to them or potentially printed. And again, that will show up into the task list. And then lastly, just a couple of level alias just talks about different names that you might have for the different levels. And then lastly, under facility, it's just talking about what thresholds you want to look at in terms of assessment and progression. So that's the new system. I've gone through that quite quickly. Really just wanted to give you an overview of what it all looks like. We feel it looks a lot cleaner, simpler to use, and it's a lot faster because we've cleaned out a lot of the stuff from it. So hopefully you will be looking to upgrade to this system over the next period of time, and we look forward to getting your feedback on it. Thanks very much.